Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm your host, the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be talking about an expansion to the Duke. Now, the particular expansion I'm going to be talking about is the Robin Hood expansion for the Duke. Now, each of the expansions for the Duke comes in a small plastic baggie that is not really for reuse. It's a little like spinner rack bag, but it's easy to just fit these into the Duke box. I currently have 3 expansions in here and still have enough room, so it's not that big a deal. And inside of the little baggie you get, in the case of the Robin Hood expansion, you get the rules to the Robin Hood expansion, which is a little pamphlet, so it doesn't add too much complexity to the Duke. And then you have the new pieces. Now for the dark side, the new pieces are the Sheriff of Nottingham, Sir Guy, or as he was known in the story, Sir Guy of Gisborne, and Prince John. And for the light side, you have Robin Hood, Friar Tuck, Little John, and Maid Marian. Now, this expansion requires you to replace some of the initial pieces that you normally use in the game with these new pieces. So, for the light side, you add in Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Friar Tuck, and Little John, and you take out the Ranger, 1 Footman, a Pikeman, and the Assassin tile. You also don't use your Duke because instead of the Duke during the starting setup, you use Robin Hood, and Robin Hood counts as your Duke for the entire game. So now this is the front of Robin Hood, and when you move him and flip him over, here is the other side of Robin Hood. Now, for the dark side, you only have 3 tiles here, and what you need to do is you need to replace the dark stained Duke, Champion, and Duchess tiles. So now, to start with, you start with Guy of Gisborne, or as he's marked here, Sir Guy, as your Duke. The other 2 special tiles, Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham, are placed in your bag, just like if you are the Robin Hood side. Friar Tuck, Little John, and Maid Marian are placed in your bag. However, the dark side has an interesting extra special ability. Now, while you start with Sir Guy in the field, and while Sir Guy is the only of these new tiles that's on the field, he is your Duke. However, if either Prince John or the Sheriff of Nottingham come up, they outrank Sir Guy, and they become your Duke. And the order of ranking goes Prince John, then the Sheriff, then Sir Guy. Now, because of this, if one of the higher ranking pieces gets captured, like for instance Prince John, you go down the line of succession. So, while all 3 are on the field, Prince John would be your Duke. But if Prince John was captured, the Sheriff would be your Duke. And if the Sheriff is captured, Sir Guy is your Duke again. Which means, is an interesting point, that you can have multiple pieces that will possibly count as the Duke out on the field at a time. It's a little harder to defeat the dark side player if they spend a lot of time drawing from the bag and manage to get multiple of these pieces out on the play field. It gives them an extra way to beef up their side. It's like, sure, you just captured my Prince John piece, but now Sir Guy is the Duke, so it's no big deal. I have another Duke. So for the Robin Hood player, they need to capture all of the possible Duke tiles on the dark player's side to win the game. Whereas for the Prince John player, they just need to capture Robin Hood. But of course, Robin Hood gets more extra tiles added to his side to help balance that out. And while this does make the game asymmetrical now, it's no longer the normal symmetrical the Duke, it feels fairly balanced. And definitely with asymmetrical games, I always enjoy playing them in pairs of games so that each player has a chance to be both sides, because they are different and they do feel significantly different. Now, in the case of this Robin Hood expansion, to the Duke. I actually like the Robin Hood expansion better than the base Duke, and I know that sounds crazy, but I think it adds whole extra elements to the game that really make it stand out, and I really enjoy it. The different movement patterns of the new pieces, especially the new Duke pieces like Robin Hood and Sir Guy and the Sheriff, etc. They really make the game feel like a totally new and different game. The Duke has that standard, move as far as you want horizontally on one side, move as far as you want vertically on the other side. These are much more unique. Looking again at Robin Hood, he has on his starting side, he can step one space to either side. He has these long jumps in a triangle pattern, and he has a strike on him where you can take a piece without moving. And then when he flips, he has jump slides in back diagonal directions. He has steps in straight forward or the two diagonal forward spaces, and he has 3 strikes on this side. This is really different. I mean, it doesn't just feel like you're playing the Duke with a different skin on it. It feels like a whole new game, and that is really cool. Because not only does it feel like a whole new game, the whole new game that it feels like is really good. It's really fun. I actually have been playing the Robin Hood version of the Duke now more than the original version. And I know what you might be thinking. If you watch a lot of my videos and you know Lynn's propensity for loving everything Robin Hood, you might be thinking the reason I'm playing this more than just the regular Duke is because of Lynn's love of Robin Hood, and that is partially true because she does request to play the Robin Hood version a lot, but I never say no. I think the Robin Hood version is fantastic. I actually think the Robin Hood version is more fun than the regular Duke. So there you have it. Now, out of 10, and I struggled with this a little bit, but you know what? I'm going to give the Robin Hood expansion to the Duke 9 out of 10 stars. And I mean, that's a really high rating. I'm actually rating it higher than the Duke. I'm rating it higher than the base game. And that is because I love it that much. I think it's that great. This was, of the expansions I've picked up so far, this was the one we've played the most. This is the one that once we played it, it totally revitalized the Duke for us. We had already played the Duke a lot because we really enjoyed this game, but we got Robin Hood and suddenly we were playing it twice as often, even twice as often as we were originally playing it when we first got it. I mean, it's a really, really worthwhile expansion. If you own the Duke, and as long as you don't, for some reason, totally hate Robin Hood, buy the Robin Hood expansion. It's fantastic. But we should get a second opinion. So, Lynn, how many stars out of 10 would you give to the Robin Hood expansion for the Duke?
9.
So we're in total agreement. Lynn gave it 9 also. Now, I'm not that surprised. She really does love this expansion, and this is the one she always asks to play. So there you have it. So 9 stars from me, 9 stars from Lynn. That's 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up for the Robin Hood expansion to the Duke. Total of 18 stars between us. Be sure to try it out if you get a chance. Pick it up if you already own the Duke. There you have it. Now, what do you think? Do you have any comments, questions, concerns on the expansion, the Robin Hood expansion to the Duke? Please put them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see me do more reviews like it, please like the video, share this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain on YouTube. That is Kaptain spelt with a K. And until next time, game on.